Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 4 of my visit to Antiquarium in Weedon Bec in Northamptonshire. So yes, I'm going to tell you up front, and I think I've mentioned this before, art glass is not my thing. Frilly Victorian art glass, yeah, I really struggle with it, and I am going to struggle in this video, so it is what it is. Something nobody knows everything, you know. I'm looking at glass over a range of a few hundred years, probably several hundred, if not 1,000 manufacturers making millions of different kinds of items. And when it comes to art glass, the churn on the different shapes, colors, patterns, variations, etc., just is just not true just for one manufacturer. So yeah, nobody's going to know it all, and I definitely don't. So excuses up front, just saying. So with that said, let's get on with the video. I think this one might be a cedar as well. They did something a bit like this, but I might be wrong. This looks Czech, Bohemian. This looks like something Weedon Bec would do, but I don't know if it is them. It looks like something they would do, but he wants £50 for it, so I'm not rushing off with it. This is the a cedar catalogue that I've downloaded from the Mats Lindor website, and so I think this is the little vase we were looking at. It's a lot less common than the usual bud vases that you get with the little bubble bases. But this is it, I think. And so this, I said it's 71 to 73, and I have another catalogue, and here it is. I think this is a small, I don't know if it is, no, it is quite big, because look, it's the same. So yeah, I think this is the same one. It looks a bit wider now, but this is a 1975 catalogue, so we know it was in production for at least 4 years, with a few more different vases. But yeah, it is rarer than these ones. I don't know what difference that makes to the value if you were collecting them. There's lots of different shapes. I mean, look at all these different colours they've got here. And there's others somewhere in here as well. So, not on here. But anyway, I know that there are other shapes as well that are kind of similar-ish, that are made by a cedar as well. So yeah, if you were collecting them, you've got a good way to go. Actually, this vase is one of a pair. And then next to it, we've got a Whitefriars Knobbly in red. Knobbly vase designed by Harry Dwyer and William Wilson. And I might be able to get a year for that. And then I think that's a Weedon Bec vase at the back. I can't see any name on it, so but I think it is. It's a very plain one, but it's a good colour. Looking at the whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and this is the 1966 catalogue. Knobbly's appeared in, I think, in 64, but they were kind of like the streaky ones. And then, so yeah, this sort of like colour one came. It's funny that actually it's got green crossed out, so maybe they didn't do them in green. But anyway, ruby. I think it's this one because it's a 9610, because it wasn't 10 inches tall. I think it was a 9-inch tall one. So yeah, I think that's what we were looking at in ruby, which I suspect is the more common one. I don't often see, if hardly ever see, a blue one. So yeah, that's what it is. 1966 was the first appearance in the catalogues. So having skipped forward, yes, there are quite a few more 1300 ones, but there's a whole bunch of 1400 ones and 1500 ones. There is a bunch of them that don't seem to have a number in here. The reference that used to be here for the catalogues is gone. So you used to be able to get the catalogue. So we're just going to have to live with the numbers that we can see at the moment. And this is the lowest one. So, and it is the most simple tube vase. I felt like it was right. The colour looked right. The look of it looked right. So yeah, I'm happy that this is what we were looking at. Got some, he says these are Czech. I know the Bohemian ones and the Czech ones, Murano ones and the Bohemian ones are very similar. They do this same kind of, I can't remember what the word is, the painting technique where you just use a knife to paint with. But anyway, yeah, I might try and figure that out. If you have a look, the flowers are different, done differently, or the leaves of the flowers are done differently. So I will check and see if I can find that out. So I've been trying to work out whether that decanter and glasses are either Murano or Bohemian. And I know there's a document out there that explains the difference between the impasto painted flowers from Bohemian and Murano glass, but I can't find that. And let me show you my difficulty, because everybody else is as confused as I am. So this decanter here looks very similar to the one we were looking at. Yeah, and it says here it's Bohemian. I can't click through on this one, I don't think. And then if I go to this one here, the flowers look exactly the same. This looks all the same. Looks a similar shape and everything. And this one is Murano. So yeah, so if anybody knows where that document is that explains the difference between these impasto painted flowers, yeah, and also I thought I would explain myself. Impasto is where you use a thick paint and it creates a texture. So they've used a really thick paint. Let me show you. I've just googled it so you could see what I mean. This is what I mean. This is impasto. Look at this flower here. All the petals are made up of splodges of glass, and sometimes they use of paint. Sometimes they use a knife or something like that to, or some sort of tool as opposed to a paintbrush to do this kind of painting. So anyway, the answer is I don't know. If anybody knows where that document is that explains the difference between the two, I would love to have it again, and maybe try and put it somewhere safe this time. Got a pair of candlesticks from Trinkets. No, I won't say. I think they're Bagley. Yeah, I will say. I think they're Bagley, but I'm not definite. And you've got a few other bits and pieces here that I have no idea of painted glass. But yeah, I'm no wiser on that. And I think this is French by J.G. Durand. I'm looking at the Glass Trinket Sets website. And yeah, so it is Bagley. The patent number is Rutland 3078. And yeah, it was made from 1939 to 75. It's probably post-war, because I doubt they would be making trinket sets during the war. 39, it's just the war was just starting. But also here it gives you all the colours: clear, pink, blue, green, amber, uranium green, and also part frosted. I think the candlesticks we were looking at there were frosted underneath, so that would count as part frosted. And I thought, while I was here, I'll go and check my other new Bagley resource, which is the Wakefield Council Working for You Museum Collection. And yeah, they actually give you less information really. They give you, tell you what it is. Rutland 3098, candlestick with a trinket from a trinket set, and yeah, 39 to 75, so it's matching with that, so at least that's correct. but yeah, it's actually not telling you what colours there are, etc., etc. So, in fact, in this instance, glass trinket sets win. And I'm going to try and do this going forward and just see, you know, maybe compare some of the references and see how they compare. Anyway, so that's what it is. It's Bagley's Rutland. Got a couple of interesting bits in this cabinet here. This looks like Lalique, but I can't see the label. And the piece over there looks like a copy of an 18th century piece. I can't see the label on that either. I'm fairly certain it's not a real 18th century piece. It's just too bright, too clean, too nice. Yeah. This book is 18th century English drinking glasses by L.M. Bickerton. And yeah, we started looking at this. So there is no jug like the one we're looking at. I mean, there's a jug here with gadrooned base. That's from 1685, this one. But we've got this here, which is a little bowl with cover. It's got a gadrooned base like the jug. It's got some stringing around the top here, like we were looking at. So, you know, you'd have the pouring lip and the handle and blah blah blah, all the bits underneath. But anyway, these features is what we're looking at, and this is from 1700. But these features were used for a while on different kinds of wares, so it's difficult to pin down that jug. We're going to jump forward a couple hundred pages in about 70 years, and I'll show you something else. So we've got a couple of tankards here, which are closer to being jugs. They don't have stems with bases on, but we've still got the same gadrooning around the base and threading around the top. Both of these do. And they're dating these to 1770. I think the handles are similar to what we were looking at as well. This one has got just a smidgen of threading, same gadrooning. This one's got no gadrooning, but it's got a lot of threading. That one's 1765. So, in fact, actually, it's got a coin in it from 1762, which tells you it can't be earlier than that date. But anyway, yeah, that is the kind of thing I think that's a copy of. It looks like a decent quality copy, but yeah, it would be hundreds if it was one of these or something earlier. In fact, if it was like a 17th century one, you're probably talking thousands. But I don't. It's a bit rarefied, that kind of glass, and they were also making it on the continent as well, and it really depends on where it exactly slots into. But this is the kind of thing it is, like this. Yeah, so it's going to be 17th or 18th century. Exactly where it fits in, whether it would be continental or not, makes a difference to the price. If it was original, but it's not, it's a copy. So I have no idea how much it's worth as a copy because I've never seen that copy before. Interesting cabinet here. I think some of this stuff was here last time. Don't remember this though. It's a little, I think that's Franzval cornucopia. I think these might have been here before though, these. Look like something Stevens and Williams would do, or somebody like that. This one looks like it might be Webb. Look at the quartered opaline there. So yeah, I'll have a look in my books to see if I can figure out what these two baskets are. So I've tried to find that cornucopia without luck. This is the chralicglass.com website, and there's a section here on Franzvals. I've looked in some of the other sections as well, Chralich especially. It does have one thing that's a feature of a lot of Val stuff, which is it's got a it's cased with a white interior, and the top is sliced off. If I look at these, look at all of these, they're all chopped at the top, all polished edges at the top, and it was like that. There's no, in this website, there's no cornucopias. If I jump forward, I did a search for Bohemian cornucopias, and yeah, that failed me quite badly. There was none like that one with the tail flips right back onto itself. Those colours, etc., etc., or even the one that looked like it was that style with the cut top and everything. So yeah, this I looked at hundreds, and yeah. So by the way, this is a cornucopia. It's like a horn, but you can see that the shapes and sizes vary fantastically because it's a general shape. Yeah, this horn shape, and some of them are upright, some of them are kind of like lying down, some of them are halfway in between that. Yeah, it's a general shape. I did try to look for acrylic cornucopias and Welts cornucopias. This is the only Welts ones that's appeared, which I'm pretty certain is Welts. You can see with the, I'll click, actually I haven't done this, but I'll click through and we can probably get a closer look because it's in Collectors Weekly. There'd be more than one. So it's even very different. So you can see it has got the cut off edge, it's got little clear feet, which that one did, but it's a very different shape. And a different pattern as well, and it's got some ribbing in it. Yeah, it's a very different thing, apart from the fact that it's got a clear interior, it's got a cut edge, it's got clear feet. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough because the shape is all wrong, the pattern is all wrong, the ribbing is not on the one we were looking at either. There's some similarities, but there's a lot of differences. Yeah, so I think it might still be Transvaals, but I can't really attest to that. In my defence, I've never claimed to be good at art glass, and I'm failing here quite badly. So this is a search for Stevens Williams glass baskets, and I've already looked at my books. So yeah, that's a no-go. And I just thought, okay, you know, you get a few things, and there's some things that are glass baskets, but nothing that's close to what we were looking at. So this is the Stevens and Williams ones, and yeah, there's nothing that I could put my finger on going, yeah, that's this is that, or it's in a different colour, or it's the same colour but in a slightly different pattern, or anything like that. There's, you know, after looking through here, some of these are not even Stevens and Williams, so yeah, it's, you know, there's loads of it. And I did actually look for web as well. If I show you web quick, and I'll pop back to here. So this is web glass baskets, and there's almost nothing. I don't even think this is web. I think that's Transvaal. Yeah, this is almost no web basket, so that's a no-go. If I go back to Stevens and Williams, though, one thing I did note is that in my books, most of the web quilted wares, or all the ones that I could find, were like diamond pattern, but some of the stuff that I saw that was Stevens and Williams had that what do you call that, chevron pattern like this. So this is in the Stevens and Williams section, and the nearest basket had a chevron pattern. The only problem with it is that it had a frosted handle, and when you go through everything in here, there's nothing with a frosted handle. I've not seen a single one. And you're looking for something like that. Do you know what I mean? Something you can grip hold of and go, yeah, that's a bit different. Can I grab it and say, yes, this is what it is? So yeah, it's not good. But and that is the problem with art glass, because they're probably, some of these things are like made in like 12 in a dozen or something, and then they just go on and make it a different color, and then they do something else, and then they do something else, and so it goes. So they just constantly, and then we'll put a loop in the handle, and then we'll do it with a different frill, and then we'll do it with a different this and a different that, and they just never stop. So they're not making, you know, they might be making 100 of one thing or 200, but they're not thousands, because they're just constantly iterating and doing things on a theme. And what you're constantly looking for is, do you have enough matching themes to say, yes, it's this because look, they use this handle, and they use this shape, and they use this color, and they use this in these different combinations, and it's something you see regularly. But yeah, there's been nothing that I've been able to pin down. Check it out, this is nice. I think this is it doesn't say on the label inside, it's on sale for £100, but I think it's an Italia piece by Tapio Wicara, if I spell that right. I'm not definite. There's a cable down here. I'm trying not to interfere with that too much, but it's a big bit. Don't know if it's worth 100 though, but it's, yeah, if it was a lot less, I'll consider that. So I've got eBay up on here, and I'm going to show you why you need to be careful when you're looking at prices of things, and sometimes knowing something is not enough, and why I was unsure, blah blah blah. So the bowl we were looking at is called Stellaria. It's Italia, made in Finland, designed by Tapio Wicara in 1978. So what we have here is there's a whole bunch of Stellaria on sale here, but they're all little candle holders. They're little rinky-dinky things. They're only 7 centimeters tall. They're all tiny, and they're kind of like, these are the UK ones, so you're talking £19 a piece. Yeah, there's 2. I've actually looked at the sold ones, and yeah, 20 quid seems to be about the price. There's someone selling a whole bunch of them. Yeah, so you go, oh well, they're not that valuable, are they? And then there's like an 11-inch bowl here. There's no bowls that are sold. Okay, so I think the bowls are pretty rare. And yeah, it's in the States. It's $473.99. And there's another bowl here that's not as big, and I think it might be the size of the one that we were looking at. It says it's 6.5 inches or 6.6 inches. And that's £219. So yeah, £100 when you're comparing it to this price here seems decent. The candle holders, which are tiny, are £20 a shot. But as soon as you step away from it being a candle holder, the prices escalate quite steeply, and £100 seems to be quite a decent price. Tapio Wicara stuff, some of it is very, how can I put this? He made a lot of fairly standard tableware stuff, and then he also made some art glass, and some of the art glass commands big prices. So yeah, you need to watch out for it. There's some of his bowls which have got cutting up them and things like that, make really good prices. Some bits of Krosno here. This is Krosno, this textured pattern, and then we've got some down here, these jellyfish bowls, I think they're called. No, you see that one's still got the same textured pattern in it as the vase up there with the holes in it. So I'm falling into my own generic Krosno hole here, because there's more than one factory in Krosno in Poland. And when you just say Krosno, you might be meaning Krosno Glassworks, which is more a tableware type thing. Josephina Art Factory is what we're talking about. Unfortunately, there's no catalogue. I have actually downloaded all these pictures just in case they just suddenly vanish. But this is what they're making today. And you can see here, there is a jellyfish bowl. Dun, dun, dun. And these ones here, I wonder if I'm not clicked on these. No, they don't get bigger. But it has this texture, this creamy texture with little brown cracks in it. Yeah, so that's the same texture that we're looking at. And then you've got these bowls with vases with the holes in that are really just decorative pieces. You can't use them as vases. So these are not exact matches for what we're looking at. This is what they're making today. I suspect tomorrow they'll be changing all this and making something similar but different again. So yeah, what that is. So I'm fairly happy that what we're looking at is Josephina. I might be wrong. Obviously, there's probably Polish glass experts out there that go, oh no, it's another factory that's down the road. But I think it's Josephina. There's enough similarities, and yeah, I don't know how old it is. It's not going to be ancient, but it's not going to be new because they're not making any of those things today. At least that they're showing you, because we make art of glass and they don't give you what's that? Hang on, there's no, that's translate. That's a contact and a home, and we're in the home, and that's what you get. So yeah, they're not giving away a lot about what they actually do. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yes, I'm trying to educate people, so I introduced 2 new words in this. Yeah, memorize them. Impasto, that's where you paint with a knife or a tool or something, and you create a sort of 3D effect with the paint itself. Impasto. And cornucopia, which is like a horn-shaped vase or drinking vessel. Sometimes it's like a vase and it has flowers or grapes and things coming out of it, and it's supposed to be the horn of plenty is another name for it. But anyway, yeah, that's me finished blabbing. All the links and directions for getting to the Antiquarium in Weedon Bec is in the description below. Also, the references I used will be in the description below. And please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you really enjoyed watching this. And yeah, and thank you for watching. And I think that's it. So have a good night and good night.